Alright, Shalom. Shalom Israel. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praises unto YAHAWAH, YAHAWASHI, YAHAWADAH, the bonds to the elders and apostles of the great millstone, and Shalom to the mighty Akim, YAHAWAH, who are diligently waiting to be delivered from this final captivity. This is Brother Kawakab coming at you with another lesson. Leviticus chapter 19, verse 15. Ye shall do no unrighteousness in judgment. Thou shalt not respect the person of the poor, nor honor the person of the mighty, but in righteousness shalt thou judge thy neighbor. Alright, so today's lesson is going to be about how people like to respect or take people's opinions just based off the fact that they are rich, have status, power, or well-known, famous, whatever. Alright, so that's one big issue. The thing is, when I speak to people, when I have certain conversations with people, because I had briefly mentioned it, I believe in another lesson where I had spoken to a certain person, alright, on how the so-called black community, quote unquote, would should handle their business, handle people that don't properly represent us. Alright, so one of the examples, because I couldn't think of anyone else even now, was Sexy Red, because she doesn't represent our black women, or our so-called black women, or just in general Israelite women. Because honestly, when I speak of representation, I don't just speak for so-called black people. I speak for Israelite people in general, just as if I'd seen a so-called Hispanic, acting like a thug, I would hope, I would pray that they would repent and come out of that lifestyle. Okay, same thing. So in that same way, so when I speak, obviously not when everyone else speaks, but when I speak, then yes, I would hope that it's just commonly understood. So now the thing was, what we were speaking on was how in general, what I was saying was that we as a collective should openly condemn and say, hey, Sexy Red and whatever thug rap were bad public figures. All right, they do not represent us as a collective of so-called black people, or generally speaking, Israelites. All right. And this person was a worldly person. They were in the world. They were basically saying, because other races of people, they don't publicly condemn their people, then what we should do, this is what him saying, what we should do is have a private little circle where we, condemned and tell certain people not to act in such and such way. All right, and I said, yes, it's true that other races of people don't do it, but just because other people don't do it, that doesn't mean that it's right. If I, this is a big thing with PR. Okay, the same way that a celebrity person, like I don't know, I can't, like, this is crazy that I can't think of any celebrities. Let's say Will Smith. Okay, if Will Smith says, I do not condone black people hating on alphabet people, all right, then that means that people think that what's his name, Will Smith is an ally, which he's more than just an ally. Okay, Slakia, he's more than just an ally, and that means that he's okay with these for it, quote unquote. So that means that he's not okay with the misfortune that's happening to said people, and it's the same for us. If we as a collective say, oh no, Sexy Red does not represent us as Israelites, all right, then the general public, okay, if they see the collective of so-called black people / Israelites saying, we don't accept, we don't condone Sexy Red, then a lot of people will see, okay, wow, this is not, because that's one of the biggest things. The thing is, a lot of Jake's they're okay with that. They're praising that they're making her money by checking out her stuff, buying her album, okay, watching all of her music videos and whatnot, okay, going on YouTube, doing all that stuff. They're making her money, okay. So that just goes to show, like, if it's working, if they're making money off of their degeneracy, then clearly the collective, they approve of it, okay. Which, that's not something that I want to. It's not something that I want to just openly admit and say, okay. But I'm not saying that as if I don't watch that. But basically, it goes to show that, Jake is degenerate. Like, there's no way around it. Like, Jake and these Israelites are actually just, like, degenerate minded, all right? And but yet they get mad. And Saki, this is a whole Babylonian thing. You have these degenerates, these vowel people, these alphabet people that say, "Oh, I'm not this." Or Saki, let's take women for example. If a woman sleeps with 100 men, then she says, "Don't call me a whore." Okay, but you're a whore. Okay, and it's in that same instance, you call out Jake. You guys are degenerates. You guys are forwarding and supporting freaking thought behavior and freaking thug life, killing people and all this stuff. But yet you don't want people calling you the vile people, demons and shit. Okay, like how does that work? If you don't support it, if you're not for it, why don't you condemn it? All right, like that's a stupidity of Jake. And now the thing is, I also want to get into this, how if someone else, if there's a celebrity, and Saki, that's another thing, which is why I brought Leviticus 19 and 15 out in the first place, because when you're speaking to people, when I'm speaking to people, when I'm speaking to someone, okay, and I explain all this stuff and how it works, and it makes sense, and even they, they couldn't say anything. They couldn't block. Basically, they didn't want to continue the conversation because they knew I was right. They knew that was right, and they had nothing else to say to me, because at the end of the day, you can't just say, "Oh, we're gonna correct people behind closed doors." That's not how that is not how it works. It's not going to be collectively okay, because what does the scripture say? Let me get that. Proverbs 27 verse 5. Open rebuke is better than secret love. Okay, when you openly say, "Hey, you're going off," okay, so that everyone knows this is not the right way to act. This is not the right way to behave. You need to correct yourself. You need to do better. All right. So as a result of that, if people are seeing that you want the right things to be done, then obviously they're going to view you as a person with actual morals. All right. So with that in mind, okay, because of that, because I was explaining that, okay, they didn't have anything to say, didn't want to agree, concede, whatever. But the thing is, that conversation happened in a YouTube comment section. So if that if a famous person, or someone that has a little bit of clout or fame or whatever, if they say something else contrary to what I said, okay, then that's when people are gonna be like, or then that's when people are gonna say, "Yeah, this makes more sense. This is better." Or if someone just regurgitated what I had said, okay, and they're gonna say, "Oh, you know what? Yeah, you're right." Or and then they're going to dick ride, okay. And this has been a very common occurrence, not just with Jake, but in the entirety of Babylon in general, where people will just dick ride whatever a famous person is doing, okay. And one of the biggest things, the biggest confirmations to this was Kanye. Kanye West had made a song called Poopty Scoop where he literally just said poop, poopty scoop, and all that crap, and people bought it. People literally bought it. He literally didn't have to work hard on that. All he did was put a beat, say a bunch of poop and scoop and stuff like that, and then people bought it. And, all right, he literally proved just how fucking stupid Babylonians are, because they will literally buy and support literal shit that celebrities push out. All right, how do you justify this kind of behavior? All right, this is unjustifiable. This is just ridiculousness. All right, Slakia, for the ramble, but it also goes to show. Let me get this as well. I just forgot it. Was it? This also shows what Esau has been trying to do as well. Okay? Esau's trying to, let me actually get that. 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. Alright? So that's one of the things that Esau's been trying to do. Esau's trying to build that rapport, okay, quote unquote rapport. And I say quote unquote because the thing is, it's kind of like pseudo rapport. It's in the sense of like, you guys, the population needs me in order to survive. All right, that's kind of like that's kind of been what he's been doing, especially with the jab and whatnot. Okay, so as a result of that, there are a lot of people that still believe that even after all the stuff that's come out and whatnot, they still believe, oh yeah, that the jab was one of the best things that happened, even though there were just so many things that went against it. All right, and it was just common sense that it was not the right move for them / for any of the people that took it. You did have some people that opened their eyes to seeing it, and learning the hard way not to trust Esau. But overall, the mass majority of people, they are for Esau. All right, and that's been the thing. That's been the reoccurring theme of Esau trying to make people just ignore and believe. Suck it. That's another thing. Okay, especially when you're going with believing the scriptures. The people like to say, "Oh, who are you gonna believe? This college degree scholar that studies the Bible, that went to school studying the Bible, or some random nigga on the street?" All right. So, like, referring to the quote unquote prophets. Let me actually get this. See if I can get it. Okay, call on YAHAWAH. 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 27. But Yahweh had chosen the foolish things of the world to confound the wise, and Yahweh had chosen the weak things of the world to confound the things which are mighty. Okay, so Yahweh had chosen the foolish things. So the Most High Yahawadah, he chose the the college dropouts, the freaking didn't finish high school, the lowly so-called black people, so-called Hispanic, so-called Native Americans, the lowly Israelites, the Israelites that are at a lowest state right now, and the Lord exalted them to know the scriptures in order to confound the wise. And that's been what we've been doing. That's what funnily enough, with what's it called, the whole spiritual war, I guess, that's been going on with GMS, Sakari, and Sakari versus Vocab Malone and stuff like that, and other Christians that go against, that are trying to go against the truth. All right, that's been a big thing where Slakia. It's been a big thing where they just it's been a big Slakia reoccurring thing where they're always like, especially vocab. I think there was this one video I'd seen. I think I said this before. But there was this one video I'd seen, a short, where he said he was talking to his friend who just didn't care. It was like, hey, friend, whatever your name is, you know what the Hebrew Israelites think of this? All right, basically us having already having a predisposition to thinking about, okay, how do I combat the freaking Hebrew Israelites when you can't combat the truth? I think that was funny. I'm not gonna go look for it. I'm not gonna bother. I don't feel like it. But I just thought that was a funny video, because like the dude in the video, his friend or whatever, is like bro, he didn't say it obviously because he was recording a video, but like, bro, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. And then this dude is trying to explain it to him. Anyway, Slakia. Yeah, that's just basically the thing. In general, Israelites, we tend to, I will say, we just tend to not be as educated in terms of, actually, you know what, let me get that. First Corinthians chapter 1 verse 25, because the foolishness of Yahweh is wiser than men, and the weakness of Yahweh is stronger than men. So the wisdom of man, all right, it is nothing to the wisdom of Yahweh Shai. Okay, so that's why it says that Yahweh Shai at his lowest point, in the quote unquote stupidity of Yahweh Shai is wiser than the genius of man. That's basically what it is. And that couldn't be any more truer than what it is right now, because Yahweh has blessed the prophets with the understanding of the scriptures in order to confound the these so-called scholars and whatnot that say all these different things, especially when they're primarily, I want to say primarily, to those that try to that are like paid to convince people that number one, well, I shouldn't actually say that, but the second one, the main one, is that Yahawashi was a so-called white man. That's one of the main things. Okay, there are more, but I'm not trying to get this video taken down. Okay, so that's basically one of the big things. And once again, it's just like a whole respecter of persons, and people are respecting people that have money. Okay, which the elites have money. All right, they respect people that are known by people, and they don't care. And that's another thing. That's another thing in Babylon. They don't care about good advice unless it's coming from someone that is that's rich and powerful. All right. So regardless of if I say, hey, don't do this, this is better for you, or anything like that, or I give someone the best, most optimal advice, they genuinely do not care. Okay, that's another thing. Actually, let me get that as well. Damn, I forgot what the thing is. All right, I'll just paraphrase it. Basically, you know, as the scriptures say, you know, if you gain a hoary head, off of old age, you know, that's one thing. But if you gain a hoary head, oh yeah, let me read this then. Proverbs chapter 16, verse 31. The hoary head is a crown of glory if it be found in the way of righteousness. Basically, if you gain gray hairs from, you know, all the wisdom that you've accumulated, whether you be freaking, let's say you were at 10 or 20 or 30, okay, because that's not usually when people get gray hairs, okay, or just get gray hair to begin with, because Yahawashi had gray hair and he was, what, 30? He was in his 30s, right? I believe he was 33 to be exact when he died. And the thing was, you know, he gained that off of wisdom and not off of old age, because he was only 30. Slakia. And on the flip side of that, you know, people who gain, oh wait, don't I have people who gain or gray hairs because of old age? That doesn't automatically make them wise. So just because someone's old doesn't mean that they're wise. Okay, and I had done lessons on this. Okay, because a lot of people also do like to take the advice of, some people do, some people don't. It's a 50-50 toss up. But some people, well, when it's good advice, they don't like to listen. But anyway, the thing is, people like to say, oh, the old person is right because they're older. Okay, so obviously, so they automatically assume that they have wisdom, when the thing is, an old person might not have wisdom. Okay, so if I, which, you know, this has happened before, if I'm at odds with an old person, if I'm saying that this old person is wrong, okay, which has happened to me before, and a third party comes in, they're just automatically going to say I'm wrong, regardless of whatever I'm saying, okay? And, you know, funnily enough, I'm not going to get into that. Basically, I made a video, you should see, I think it was called, Just Because You're Old Doesn't Mean You're Right, alright, or something like that. And, basically, when I try to, you know, extract and try to say, okay, why do you think this person is right over me? And then, you know, people, they can't explain themselves, and that's another thing. People are dumb. People are so stupid. They don't know what they're talking about. Yet they are the dumber people are the quickest to say something. All right. And then when you actually when you actually confront them and try to get them to explain their side of things, you know, they're crickets. They can't speak because they're proven and they're shown to be stupid. So with that, I pray this lesson was edifying. I want to give all honor, glory, and praises unto Yahawah, Yahawashi, JAMAICANS, the elders and apostles, great millstone, Abad, and Shalom.